All right, guys, I think I'm live. Think I'm live. Let me know if you see this screen. We are having issues with our internet. I actually think YouTube Live is actually a very hard app. We used to go live on a different streaming platform, and for some reason, it seems like it never works. And so we have to go to a different app and try to get hooked in, and it usually takes like 3 or 4 times. So excuse the several pictures, excuse the lateness. It's really not my fault. It actually is a YouTube glitch. So we're going to allow everybody a chance to get on, and hopefully everybody will see us. Let me know if you hear or see us. I know there's a few people starting to get on now. Let me know if you see us. As people start getting on, we'll go into some of the discussions that we're going to be talking about today. Um, Again, sorry for the confusion on the live. The way YouTube works on lives is you have to go through a protocol, and they make you put all your stuff in, and then when you put all your stuff in, it may not allow you to actually get into the program. So then we have to upload it again. So sorry about the YouTube glitch, and it took about 10 minutes to actually get onto the YouTube live. So for some reason it's always hard. I don't know what it is. So hey guys, welcome to the live. I see a few people, about 40 or 50 on so far. Let me know again, like we always do. Let me know where you're actually watching from, and that way we can know for sure that we have everybody coming in. Where are you watching from? Where are you watching from? All right, I see Port Orchard, Washington, Debbie Long. Um, we have had crazy rains today too. We were actually supposed to be outside doing some work, and I said, you know what? I can't do work because it's flooding, so we might as well go live. Perfect. Let me know where you're coming from. Northeast Florida, Arkansas. Awesome. Great. All right, we'll give you a second to get on, and then we'll get started on the actual live talk and chat, and we'll talk about some of the issues that we didn't get into in today's video. But also, um, just so you know, too, we're going to do some question answering like we always do at the very end of the video. What we'll do too is I'm going to touch on what YouTube told me about our channel, and then we'll do a full video on that probably Sunday. But not the best news, but we will discuss it a little bit. And that's actually why I'm going to be doing a little bit more lives lately, or in the next near future, because they're kind of telling me I should. So, all right, from Arkansas, Arizona, Missouri, Oklahoma, Arkansas again, Ohio, New York City. Welcome from New York City. Let's see, Washington. Welcome. All right, so we've got close to 100 people on here so far. So we'll hopefully some other people will join on. I'm sorry about the secondary live that you had to click on. So sorry about that, guys. Again, it's not my fault. It's YouTube. So again, Tennessee, awesome. All right, so let's jump into what we're going to talk about today. The main thing I did not discuss um, on today's video, I have a great video coming out. One, it talks about Walmart as a part of it, and also talks about the new leader of the wealth. Both of those topics are very, very good. You need to watch that video because I've done some research on one of our new leaders of this global agenda, and we'll talk about that in the video. But we did not want to jump into a lot of other issues on this video because we thought it was very pertinent to talk about what Walmart said and also the WEF. So, in the live, I wanted to touch on two things. One is, are we looking at national size war across the seas? And what are we looking like here at home? So, first, let's talk about over the seas. This came in last night. If y'all saw, um, a lot of reports on several things that took place. So first of all, you know what's going on, of course, with Russia Ukraine, but here's something that was missed. And I talked about this in a video, if you remember, a few weeks ago. I said when there's a peace agreement starting, usually there is escalation in the war because what happens is everyone is trying to get the upper hand in the negotiation. So you saw it, as soon as you heard those conversations take place, you saw the negotiations talk about several things. You saw the drone issues with Ukraine going into Russia. Well, all of a sudden, two things happened. A Russian general was killed in a car bomb near Moscow. Now, this is a big deal. A IED inside Moscow into the capital. Now, that is a monster escalation on the Ukrainian side on what actually took place with this general getting killed in a car bomb. Not, I don't actually think that they were expecting that at all. I think that was a major blow to Russia. Now, on top of that, Trump said, "Look, try to keep peace, Putin. This is not something you need to go for." And then all of a sudden, he ignored that. and launched his own deadly drone strikes, hitting several places all through the regions that are in war right now. So we see with Russia Ukraine, even though there is a negotiation, actually, Witkoff is over there for a fourth time with the Russian envoy trying to actually develop peace. But as we talked, when there is a talk of peace, they're used as an escalation so that way we see who has the upper hand. That's actually what happens. It happened with Israel and Gaza. It's going to happen with Russia, Ukraine. It's going to happen with every other discussion that we're going to be talking about. So we see an escalation with a true car bomb inside Moscow, which was a monster hit. And then on top of that, now we're seeing the drone strikes from Russia, and Putin said he will not pull back after Trump even asked him to pull back. So that was an escalation there. Now we've got to keep an eye on that because that can escalate very quickly to something very dangerous because we are at a point where both people, even Ukraine came out yesterday and stated, even before this car bomb, that they would be willing to give up land to have peace. Now, that's a big statement. And then all of a sudden, bam, car bomb goes off today. So, I don't know what that is. That's gonna be a pretty big deal coming up. Now, one more thing that I think caught everyone by surprise, or at least caught me by surprise, is the situation that took place in with India and Pakistan. Now, there's two big announcements coming out of the India-Pakistan situation, and it looks like it's heating up. It was a terror attack right there on the line, and again, it says India and Pakistan exchanged fire after deadliest attack in decades. Gunfire erupts overnight across the line of control as tensions between the nuclear armed rivals spiral. India's army confirmed that there has been a limited firing on small arms, but Pakistan raised it up and now to a new level. India blames Pakistan for cross border terrorism after 26 tourists were gunned down in Kashmir. The UN is urging restraint. History says good luck with that. That was from Mario Nafal. Um, this is another big deal. They already were pretty tense, and then all of a sudden, India and America has this agreement going on, this trade agreement, and of course, Pakistan has worked for the West before. They even made a comment, and you got to be very careful and conscientious of these wordings when it comes to Pakistan and the Middle East. Again, always a problem. But they made this comment. They said, "We've done this same style attacks for America for a long time, and for the West for a long time. Why are we going to stop for India now?" Now, I don't know what he meant by that, but that almost made it look like we caused this. And I think what he's trying to do is cause problems for the agreement and also with the trade situation. It says India, Pakistan, yet another nuclear hotspot. You're exactly right. And that's why you have to pay attention to this because Pakistan cannot be trusted. And it's one of those situations where they're a frenemy. They're actually not friends with America, but we tend to do work through them. And it could be sketchy work, it could be shady work, but ultimately it's a hot region. Now, the biggest issue with this is we're also trying to work out trade negotiations across the world and we see this all of a sudden take place. And again, this is dealing with someone that we have a great relationship with India, but also as we try to make sure that Pakistan does not accelerate this any more than it already is, because they are someone that we deal with in the region. Not the best friend there, but it's one of those cases where it does matter. Now, if we see the situation with Russia, Ukraine, we see the situation with India and now Pakistan. Now let's go to one more regions, of course, and this is the one that's probably that's on the forefront of all our minds. Trump told Netanyahu, and this was kind of released in a leak. It said, "If he goes to war, we're not getting dragged in." And what he was saying is, even though we're selling arms to them, even though we want them to have peace, even though we're trying to make sure that they know that they're our allies, we will not go to war with them. Now, listen to what he said. I think, this is Trump playing hardball here, and actually in negotiation, he said, "I may go very willingly, but if we can't get a deal, and we won't make a deal, and they won't make a deal, it won't be Israel leading, it will be me." Now, I don't believe that we're going to war in Gaza. I don't believe that we're going into Gaza. I don't believe that at all. I don't believe that's not what Trump was saying. I think what he's saying, though, is he's trying to put enough heat on Qatar and Saudi Arabia to make a deal with Gazans and with Hamas to actually get out of the regions or lay the arms down. Because I think Trump is saying, if you don't, I will do just like I did in Yemeni with the Yemeni strikes. Do I believe he's gonna do any striking? Do I believe he's going to war? No, I don't. I don't. I believe he's just trying to play a negotiator here, a very tough negotiator. But he did tell Netanyahu, if you choose to go to war, I'm not going with you. Now, that's a big statement, and I think that helps us keep somewhat of peace there too, because what Trump had just told all three of these situations with these wars going across I mean, going across really our world is that look, we want to make sure that we're neutral in it. We want to negotiate peace with every situation. We're not going to play sides anymore. We've got to have peace. Now there was a statement by Polish and Hungarian um, um, uh, president, basically, and they were both stating the only person that could possibly make peace in all these regions is Trump because of his negotiation tactics. They said he plays hardball, but he will be able to make peace if they want peace. That's the kicker. Does Pakistan want peace? Does Hamas want peace? Does Ukraine want peace? Honestly, do they want peace? The IED bomb did not show peace with Russia for sure. So I'm anxious to see what happens in those situations. Now, one more thing across the world, then we're going to jump into Americans' problem because there's a lot that took place today, and I know y'all know that with the FBI and with some of these judges, and we're going to get to that. But this is another report that just came out from over in Italy. It says Italian soldiers with anti-drone rifles in Rome at the Vatican are fearing Islamic attacks. They have had warnings that something could be rumbling. Now, that why would they think that something's rumbling? They were saying because they're looking to pick a new pope, because they're going through so much, they wanted the Vatican and the Roman and the Italian soldiers to have anti-drone um, basically weapons to make sure that they would be safe at the Vatican. That is huge to me because now you're talking almost a religious war there. Now it's always been religion with the Muslims in the Middle East, but to say now that they're worried that there could be attack on the Vatican, again, I'm not Catholic, but that's a big deal because now what are you seeing? Are you seeing the fact that we now could have a problem where there could be drone strikes or a terror attack on the Vatican? That's a religious push there. That's a monster situation. So we need to pay attention to those four things. All four of those are taking place at the same time that we're trying to negotiate tariffs. At the same time that China said they're coming to the table. However, they did not rule out playing hardball as well. I believe with China, you're not going to see a conflict break out, but I do believe you may see things like cyber attacks. I do believe you may see holding of things that we need, such as the chips. So I think that there's going to be more issues there. And if you remember what I said yesterday's live, that Enderal's co-founder basically was stating, I don't know if we even have the capacity to even fund not only the war, but to have enough munitions to actually have a hot war conflict. So the last thing we need to be doing is doing anything like this. But we have four situations across the globe right now that are just one little spark away from igniting into a bombshell. So we need to pay attention to those stories. Now, let's jump into America's problem right now because there is some crazy things that has taken place today. First of all, did you see the judge? There was a report that this judge, of course, if y'all know her name, Judge Gut Dungan, or Dugan was allowing fugitive, fugitive, excuse me, fugitives that were illegal aliens that were in her court to slip out the back door and to get away from ICE. That is a huge, huge problem. So what happened was they busted her, man. FBI stepped in and actually did their job. Now, for the first time since probably Trump took office, I'm like, wow, that's exactly what we voted for. Is that not what we voted for? We voted for that judge to go to jail for doing what she did, aiding and abetting. Not only that, you saw the judge we talked about, and 2 days ago in the video about in New Mexico, the same situation where he was holding, um, he was having people in his home and protecting them when he shouldn't. He was aiding and abetting. Another judge went to jail. Now, that's on top of now new reports against Jasmine Crockett. She is in trouble, Pam Bondi says. Now, again, I don't trust Pam Bondi because I believe she goes on news too much and she's not done anything really with these arrests. But I do give credit to FBI, the last two arrests with these judges. If we see persecution on these Congress and these judges, I do believe you'll start seeing things that Trump wanted to get done. So, AG Pam Bondi drops brutal news that Jasmine Crockett is in trouble. She's putting a strong message saying that the threatening towards the way she threatened Doge and Elon Musk and the heightened tensions and the problems of she was basically helping promote some of the problems that were going on with these dealerships. So I think that is a huge move. I would love to see her bring up um, some things against her. Now, that's on top of Boasberg. Boasberg is still running around doing what he wants to do and trying to defy the law as a judge. Now, let's see what happens there with that case. Now, is it encouraging to see this? Yes, but just like, yesterday and this morning, there was a new congressman, Democratic Representative Wilson, tells supporters to call and threaten Republican members of Congress that we need an uprising because illegals should not be deported. They should be here because they help us work. Now, did you hear the terminology she used? And we need to make sure that we pinpoint this because we had people wrapped up in jail without due process at J6, but we have a Democratic representative stating to call and threaten Republican members of the Congress. All not for watching over Americans, not for other congressmen, not for safety of Americans, for people who are here illegally. So that's unbelievable. Now, if a conservative congressman did that and told them to threaten Dems and call them, man, they would be thrown in jail. So what I'm saying is, we need to make sure that yes, there's good things happening. I love the fact that we've actually taken these two judges to jail. I'd love to see more pressure on people like Jasmine Crockett. However, there's still congressmen out there saying things like threatening towards other members of Congress. Have we not learned anything from the situation that took place with Steve Scalise and all the people that were playing softball a few years ago? It's unbelievable. So now it's time to see if Pam Bondi is actually going to turn up the heat and actually do her job. Now we've given her time, and I know everybody's saying, "Hey, we got to give her time. We got to give them time. We got to give them time." Okay, great. We've given them time. We see some judges that are going to jail because of things they were doing with aiding and abetting people that were not supposed to be here. The question now comes to, is it going to get better? That is the key. Um, One more story I wanted to hit out right quick about AOC. AOC is now becoming quote unquote the front runner of the 2028 ticket for the Democrats. Now, this could be probably the best news that we hear today is that AOC is going to be the front runner. She came out with a promo that could show her as the runner. Now, Pam Bondi also warned her, but again, nothing's been done yet about some of the things that she was doing with trying to help people stay here illegally and trying to find those loopholes. And also some of the people on her staff was doing the same thing. So she could also be in hot water, but she is becoming her and Pete Buttigieg has become the front runners for the DNC over the next or basically over the last few weeks. If we see this as the front runners, this could be some of the best news for Republicans, especially if Republicans do their job over the next years basically, or up to 2 years for the midterms, but even for the next 4 years, if Trump and Vance can actually get stuff done like they're supposed to and like they're wanting to, and if they can get help from the Congress of codifying, if they can get help from the Congress from budget situations, then all of a sudden we have a chance to take another term of presidency and actually make things even better. Because if AOC and Pete Buttigieg is the best thing that Democrats have, I think that could actually benefit conservatives and Republicans even more. Now, that was all the stories that I had so far that I wanted to touch on. Now, we've got another few minutes. Let's get together and let's make sure we ask some questions. So please shoot me your questions. Let's jump in. It could be anything from homesteading, sustainability, prepping, or my current events or my personal opinion on those things. So please shoot me some questions. There's about 300 people on here. So please shoot me some questions. Remember, we are having a video at 5:30 today. So please make sure you watch it. It is going to be a good one. I think y'all will enjoy it because it's going to be more investigative about this new player at the World Economic Forum, and then also some things about Walmart that has come out. Very good video, so make sure you watch that. Someone said, "I've got some fresh A2 milk today and love it." Great. That is perfect when you especially if it's raw dairy milk, you have digestive milk, but also if you've got I've got one cow that's A2, the other one's like A1, A2 or something like that. Um, the best digestive quality milk. I do say this though, if you're drinking raw milk anyway, it's a lot more digestive than anything that you're getting out of store. Tiffany asked, "Did Aiden have a good birthday?" He did. We had a great time. He had some of his friends over. They swam. Again, we have a big family anyway, so it was like 6 of the kids, plus he had 3 or 4 people, plus his girlfriend. And you'll have to watch the video. Misty's got a video coming out on her channel, The Max Life, about Aiden's birthday. So we had a great time. Top 3 items to stock up on now, I'd put cash up, and budget. I would make sure that you had, your 2A, rights put up. I would make sure you had some brass, because I believe it's gonna be tough to get some of those things because of the hot situations that are going across the world. And number 3, I would tell you is, I tell you to do freeze-dried foods. I would definitely stockpile on freeze-dried foods. I believe we're gonna see a time of hard food to get, and I would say number 3 would be either freeze-dried foods or seeds. If you're gonna grow gardens, go ahead and grab some seeds and start growing them for sure. What's going on with YouTube? Oh, yeah. So let me kinda shed light on that. Um, I had a talk to, my YouTube agent. When you get to a certain size, they give you a YouTube agent, and I'm gonna have a whole video on this. Actually, I've already filmed it. It's gonna be Sunday because I was kinda upset after I had the video. A few things they told me, um, about, about my channel. If you notice, I'm losing about 3 to 400 subscribers a day. That's absolutely unbelievable. Actually, the, my agent was actually surprised. She told me I was not shadow banned, but that she did tell me that they are not recommending my channel across the platform. And I was thinking, okay, that means you're shadow banning me, correct? And what she was saying is she is allowing us to get across subscribed platforms, but they said YouTube was not helping push me across some of the non-subscribed platform. That's how you grow your channel, and which is definitely upsetting. But what they told me was there anything in the news or political talk on the conservative side could possibly be, not shared as much. Now that was a huge hit. She was like, "Well, why don't you go back to farming? Why don't you go back to homesteading?" I said, "Well, I have another channel to do vlogging, to talk about life sustainable and things like that. That's Life of Kobe Mag." I said, "Actually, you're sharing that channel more than you're sharing the Max main channel." And I said, I all I want is look, just give me the recommendations back, meaning I just get on the front page. So when you click on YouTube, the thing is, I don't want you to try to promote me. That's not what I'm doing. I said, just put me back on the front page like you had me and give me the same impressions that you gave me 2 years ago or a year ago and let people decide if they want to watch us or not. But right now, they're not allowing me to even get on the front page of a lot of channels or a lot of other recommendations from non-subscribers, which is how you, of course, grow in YouTube. Tiffany Vincent, that's actually right. She told me that the more I probably talk like I'm talking, it may hurt me. So just being honest with you guys, I hope that you'll keep on trying to find my channel because it may get harder and harder. Um, Thank you, Ginger. I'm on X. I share a lot of things on X, so you can follow me on X as well as at the Colby Mac. And then of course I'm gonna keep my other channel up, Life with Colby Mac. So if something happens, then I have the other channel and we can go from there. We do share towards Rumble, but again, there's no that's not really growing well. Rumble is actually as much as we want Rumble to do well, it's just not growing like it's supposed to. So, we're going to try to keep on keeping on here and keep on promoting. If you notice, we've been putting out shorts, we've been doing the lives. She said that we need to try to stay as focused as possible. So if you watch, the, not only are we doing our daily posting, we're doing the lives about every other day. And not only are we doing the lives, we're doing shorts just about every day too. So we're showing as much content to YouTube as possible to show that we're not changing the way we're focused. We want to keep on telling truth and we want to keep on telling our opinions. That's kind of the purpose of the channel. However, we're going to do all we can to keep on pushing our channel forward. So hopefully it will keep on happening. Hopefully I will get stronger again, but we'll see what happens. And thank you so very much for watching. The last few videos they just keep going further down, and it's not because we're not telling truth. It's not because we're doing something different than we have done before. It's just simply because the recommendations are not there. And hey, that's okay. We're not poor mouthing on that. What we're going to do is we're just going to keep on keeping on, and we hope that you'll keep on finding us. But I will say this: what's so crazy is just to kind of give you an idea. So 2 years ago, we were filming maybe 15 to 16 videos a month. Okay, then we started losing recommendations and subscribers, and then they said you need to start filming daily. So we started filming daily, and so that's why we do the daily vlogs, and also the daily postings about news, about sustainable living, prepping, things like that. And then lastly, she said, "Well, you need to do more." Well, I'm a full time farmer and a full time job, 8 to 5 outside farming too. So it is hard for me to do as much as we do, but we keep on promoting and doing as much as we can when it comes to our channel because we want to keep giving our message out. So we thank you so very much for being a part and helping, being on our channel for sure. So we're going to try to keep on doing live. So we're going to keep on doing a live. We're going to try to do at least 10 to 15,000 lives as much as we can. Um, just up on, I see that your subscribers are down to 291. It's not too long ago. Yeah, see, Danielle, actually, what's so crazy? If you go back to, and I don't know if you can, but March of 2024, we got to around 298, 299 when we were going to Oki last year. And my channel was doing great. We have ebb and flows. That's normal for YouTube. I've been doing it for about 5 years. Um, but after March, the more we started speaking truth, the more I think that they started nailing us. So we went from 298, 299 down to 297, 296, 295, 294, 293, 291, and we've bounced back and forth. It probably will roll to 290 in the next few days, just because I'm losing about 400 a day, and they keep saying that's normal, and it's not normal. I've been doing this for about 5 years. I doubt it's not normal. And Michelle, just like you said, I do not get notified of Colby. I just happen to check YouTube. See what again, they're not allowing the bell notifications to go through. All the stuff we've talked about with them, but they will not they're not helping me right now, you know. Charity says blatant discrimination of conservative ideas getting more and more obnoxious. Yes, and see that's what I don't want us to lose focus on, and that's why I want us to keep up the fight. Yesterday's video, man, it got censored so bad they actually almost took it off. So if you haven't watched yesterday's video, please go back and watch it. It would sure help me. But what is actually happening is, yes, we have the president. Yes, we seem like we have everything going in a good way, but do not just take your foot off the pedal because it's still to a point where even these kind of situations like what we're dealing with now with YouTube, for me, they're going to keep fighting people who are conservatives and Christians, and not allowing us to speak as freely. Now, there's other channels just like mine. Like I can name several channels like Poplar Report, Squirrel Tribe, Stephen Gardner, Appalachia. All of those seem to be doing very well still. I don't watch a lot of their content because we're just so busy. But we always have a conservative or Christian spin on our channel, and I think that that's why we get hit harder than a lot of the other channels because not only do we talk news, we talk about true opinion about it in a Christian's perspective. So I think that that's why we get nailed pretty hard. But anyways, hey, I'm not going to badmouth it. All I'm going to do is just keep on. I'm gonna keep on, and thank you so very much for coming to watch each and every time for sure. All right, so let's have another 2 minutes. Please name some questions, throw some questions out. I'm sorry I took a little long on the YouTube rant, but I just wanted to get that out there, and we'll have a whole video. I think it's coming out Sunday um, about it. But today's video is good. Do not miss today's video. It's one of those truth telling videos, but you need to watch today's video. It's really good. All right. Any other questions? We have about 2 minutes left on here. Any questions? Stephen Gardner is pretty Christian too. Yes, he is. Sue Holder. The difference in us and Stephen, well, Stephen's grown exponentially, which I'm proud. I'm happy for him. Stephen does tell the news more than I'm probably a little bit more opinionated. If you listen to him, he tells his opinion, but he does it in a way that is still as a broadcaster more than kind of like a pundit, like I am. So he does a phenomenal job, and he's done excellent staying in the algorithm. So kudos to Stephen Gardner for sure. He's a great follow if you're not following him for sure. Gold went down today. Yes, gold went down today because if you notice, the market went up a little bit when they heard that China and America were talking. It will make gold go back down. Remember, gold is just a hedge. So unless something crazy happens, if the market goes back up, gold will eventually go back down. Even though I do believe you need to buy gold. Let's see. Having Christian values is the most important thing for me. It is, and again, I don't want to lose my channel. I don't want to do anything like that, but I'm not going to sell out for it. So my goal is to always push the fact that we're a Christian channel. What channel does my wife watch to make things with alcohol? Okay, so if you're making tinctures, there are a few things. If you go down to the playlist in my channel, you'll see some of the things like stockpile must-haves and how-tos. You're going to learn some how-tos there. Now, my wife did a usnea tincture on her channel, the Max Life. If you go to hers, there's a how-to playlist as well. And a lot of those tinctures are how we make elderberry syrups or vanillas or medicinal herbal tinctures are all in those how-to playlists on this channel and also the Max Life. So that's how you find those. Again, natural remedies and natural medicines is a key when it comes to sustainable living. Any tips on balancing prepping and paying off debt for a young growing family? Great question. What we did was this: we structured our budget to a point where we paid all our bills. We also tithe. That was first and foremost for us. Paid our bills, and then what was left at the end, we would split. We would learn to pay ourselves. Now, what I mean by that is, it's like I'm working for myself, so I want to make sure that I'm paying myself a little bit something too. So we would put a little bit of money up after we paid parts of our debts. You want to have a you do want an emergency fund. You need to make sure that you're putting up cash before you put up anything else. Yes, buy some food, buy some water. That's cheap. That's easy. I have a budgeting prep that you could literally budget for less than $20 or $30 a month. But on my playlist. So please go check that out. But what I found out that if I learn to pay myself first, start building up a budget and getting better with having cash on hand, then it allows me to have the free choice of course covering my debt, but then allows me to start working towards my preps. So that's how we did it. We tithed, we budgeted. Once we paid our debts and had a little extra money, and we did side hustles. I did side hustles a long, long time for years. Actually, YouTube started off as a side hustle. Now it's become like my main thing right now. But it started off as a side hustle because we wanted to find ways to make money so we could help our farm out and, of course, raise our family and, of course, make sure my wife could be home with our children. Did y'all enjoy the treehouse vacation? Yes, it was a great time. It was just time for me and Misty just to get away. We enjoyed it very, very much. Will Misty consider writing a cookbook? You know what's so crazy? I didn't tell y'all this about 2 years ago. We were offered to write a cookbook and homesteading book. We turned it down because we thought we were just not big enough and people didn't know us as much to really have that investment. They were gonna pay for it. The book publisher company was gonna pay for it. Looks really nice. We were extremely busy with our farm. We were doing some additions on we at that time we were renovating our prepper's pantry, so we just decided not to do that. We may go back to looking at writing a cookbook. Misty has a ton of things that she could write on, but she does share recipes on our Substack. So if you're not following our Substack, please do. A lot of those are free. I mean, sometimes we have paid Substack, and that helps us, but most of those are free when it comes to our recipes. Have you thought about reaching out to other YouTubers and having collaborations? We actually have done some of those, but to be honest with you, a lot of the bigger YouTubers, like the Tucker Carlsons or some of those, of course, they're not gonna talk to the smaller guys like us. I would love to do more collaborations. I would love to do more collaborations with bigger channels. It's just got to be a benefit to them too. We are thinking about doing some collaborations and maybe do some kind of like podcast interview back and forth to see if that could work and benefit a few channels. Um, I would love to help out smaller channels. I'd love for bigger channels to help us out. I think it's a good thing when we work all together because again, our whole goal is just to tell truth. That's the main thing. All right, guys. Let's see. I'm gonna see if I can catch one more. Where do you get your prescription meds other than the ones you spoke of, like large quantities? We again buy from Wellness Company and Jace Medical. The only reason we go between both, Wellness Company offers a little bit more than what Jace does, and sometimes I get a good discount if we do the wellness because it seems to be a little bit less to get like the I word and things like the EpiPen a little bit better. But I do 'em both. Ginger, I have done with Keep It Dutch. Sean is a good friend of mine. Of course, I know Arms too, Daniel. But we have done a collaboration with Dutch several times. All right, guys, I think that's it. We're gonna get off again. Please do not miss. Of course, thank you again for being on this live. Give us a thumbs up before you leave if you can. But please make sure that you check out today's video. I don't want to take away. I don't want our lives to take away from the video because the video is very good. We spent a lot of time on it, and I want to make sure that you really dive into the video today. We talk about Walmart, we talk about the Amish, and we also talk about WEF. And I think this is a big thing to talk about because the new leader of wealth is unbelievable. Actually surprised me. And we need to discuss who it is. Guys, thank you so much for watching again. Thank you for giving us a thumbs up. Thank you for being on here. Share our channel. We need it, especially after we talked about what YouTube told us. And I'm hoping and praying that we will just keep on keeping on and keeping our channel strong and keep on being able to share our life with y'all. Guys, thank you for watching. God bless.